everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Rasmati in English, where we will be covering all drawing tutorials for you. And if you were a beginner or a starting artist who needs just more advice, so this is the channel for you. Why am I talking English, or why have I started English? It's because I'm half Lebanese, half Filipino. I was trying to find a middle solution where in one video both of my families could understand me, but obviously I couldn't. So I decided to make two playlists, one in Arabic and one in English, for both of my families and both of my people, and the rest of the world could understand me in a better way. I am sorry if I just by accidentally drop an Arabic word. It's a habit. I haven't spoken English for so long, so please don't judge the accent and don't judge the grammar as well. It's so bad, I know. Just trying to find the easiest way for us to communicate. So, in today's video, we will be talking about materials that every artist uses and every beginner needs for them in order to draw better. Okay, so let's start with pencils. Before we start, I just want to say that I am not talking about quality. I'm just saying what are the materials you need. Okay. I cannot talk about if this is better than this is better than this. It's because I am not finding the equipment I need here in Lebanon. It's kind of hard, especially with the crisis happening here. So when I go down to the library, I just ask them for example, a pencil. Some of them have it, some of them don't. So my equipments are all over the place. I don't have specific equipment from a specific brand. So again, let's talk about pencils. Now, pencils come in different shades. They aren't just in one shade. The one shade that we use since we were like young are HB pencils. Now, HB pencil comes in the middle between the H degrees and the B's. Okay, so the H are the very soft pencils. They're, even if you push hard, I guess they say, with the pencil it stays light, unlike B pencils, if are very dark, depending. It starts from like 2H, HB, 3B, 5B, and 8B. 8B isn't that important too, but those shades that I just said are what I have and what I find it really necessary. Like, why would I have a 5B and a 6B? They're not the same shade, but they're almost the same shade. Okay, so pencil, it's very important to know the degrees of the pencils, because when you draw a person, for example, you start with the softest layer, which are 2H. So we start with like the skin with 2H, and then we build up layers until we got to the darkest part. For example, the hair, the shadow, the eye. It depends on the picture. Okay, so so we just finished talking about pencils, and now we will be talking about charcoals. Now, charcoals come in different degrees. They aren't the same as pencils. Charcoals can come in three: hard, medium, and soft. Okay, soft is easy to blend with. Okay, you can use it for skin. You can use it for if you are drawing a person with black background, so you can use a soft charcoal as well. They all are the same, but it's just the hardness and the softness of the pencil. Okay, so medium, you cannot use it in skin because it's kind of hard, and also you can blend it. They are both, so you use it in other areas, like for example, maybe the nose. I to be honest, haven't used a medium charcoal. And the hard charcoal are used for, it doesn't blend. It's just like a pen, just in a charcoal. It does blend, but very hard to blend it. Do not ever put your hand on the paper while drawing in charcoal. First of all, your hand gets all dirty. The charcoal just goes all over your hand. Plus, you just ruined your drawing. So do not use charcoal and just put your hand. You can use something like a paper or something like a box where you can just put your hand on the paper and draw. So we just finished talking about charcoal, and we will talk about why charcoal. To be honest, I do not draw any drawing which is all charcoal, maybe just once. And I just draw with pencils. I only use charcoal when necessary, when, for example, when the background is black, or if I'm drawing a man and he has a lot of beard, or a woman with a lot of hair. So I use charcoal because drawing with a pencil is very tiring and exhausting and needs more time. So while charcoal, I just just do this and get like white charcoal and do the hairs, because you cannot just have a black hair without any highlights. It just isn't realistic. It's supposed to have a little highlight. So you can use a white charcoal. And this isn't a charcoal. This is a pastel actually. I do not have a white charcoal, but I don't know why. But I guess it's the same. You can use pastel as well. I know that pastel is like charcoal, but I don't know if they come with like hard, medium, and soft. Never used it. I just use the white pastel and doing the highlights of the charcoal, or I use a white pen, color pen, a normal white color pen to make the hairs. This is much easier than using this because this is thick, while this is thin. I can do the hair highlight easily. Now, after talking about the pens, we will be talking about now blending stumps. Blending stumps helps in reducing the harshness, I guess. For example, when you're drawing a drawing, there are like lines in the drawing where it's kind of hard to remove. So you use a blending stump. So there are different sizes of blending stump. I have here 4 and I have 1. 1 is very good for like the eye areas, if there are like some kind of shadows or anything. For example, I could use a 1 and a 3. I do not recommend in using blending stumps in skins, because blending stumps, if you use it in a skin, it leaves like I don't know how to say it in English, to be honest. So, but it leaves like stains. It leaves like black stains everywhere. It's just isn't soft. It's not satisfying. It's not good for realism drawing. So, in my recommendation, the easiest, just use a tissue. It's very easy. You just put your finger and do this and just blend. That's it. That's just what you need to do for the skin. Okay, you can replace also tissues with cotton. I don't know if I said it correctly. I think cotton, the one you erase your makeup with. So you can use that also for blending the skin. Okay, another thing I just discovered, I had this blending stump for like 4 years, I guess, the last time I traveled to Philippines, and I got blending stumps. I didn't know how to sharpen it, because in the end it's gonna get dirty, it's gonna get all black, so I couldn't use it again. So I just discovered no, I can use just this. I don't know what it's called in English, but it's for fingernails, or just a sandpaper. I just do this and done. It becomes clean. Okay, so I saw also another artist who used, instead of these stuff, they use brushes. So to be honest, I never use brushes. I just use this brush. And when do I use it? I use it when like I make a mistake in the skin, for example. There's a line, I erased it. It makes a lot of it becomes so different. So I use this just to make it look the same again. Okay, so but a lot of artists use it as like using blending stuff and doing the eyes or skin, but I just didn't use it, and I'm just kind of satisfied with the blending stuff and the tissues. Okay, and if you are just drawing with pencil without charcoal, you can use this. Okay, this brush where you can just after you finish drawing, you just do this with your drawing to remove the excess pencil, but not too harshly, or else you would be like ruining the whole drawing. Just so softly, okay? Or you can use this. I usually use this when like I erase something and I don't want to use my hands, because you know hands have oils. I just do this to remove the leftovers of the eraser. I forgot to talk about something, that blending stump. You can replace it with earbuds, okay? Earbuds are also work the same thing as blending stump, but like you cannot use this for smaller areas like your eyes, but you can use this, okay? But if you couldn't find any of these, you can use these instead. Okay, so I think last are erasers, okay? So as I said before, I couldn't find any of the equipment I need here. It's very hard to find. Yes, so I have this eraser from Fiber-Castell. This eraser is very important, because I don't know why when I say important. Anyway, so this eraser is used for doing the small highlights, like in the eyes, if there are some like kind of sparkle in the skin, if you're drawing an old lady or an old man and their skin is have like white lines, so you can use this as well. Okay, so this is good. It comes also in a different way. It comes like a refiller. That also works. This works. They both work, but I didn't find that one available here. I find this available, and yeah, it's also good as well. And a normal eraser. There is an eraser that I do not have right now, but a lot of artists use it. It's like an eraser that can change shapes. Okay, this helps when you want to erase smaller areas, you can use it, and when you want to erase larger areas, you can also use it, because you can just change its shape. But for me, I do not have it, and it's okay. I can use both of these. Okay, and yeah, I guess I took. Now there's something also I do not contain, where like when you're drawing a person and there are a lot of sparkles like sweat, I saw some using like white gel pen. I do not have white gel pen, but it's also very helpful when you draw something with a very sharp highlight. So white gel pen is better than eraser, in my opinion. Okay. So yeah, and last, I'm supposed to say this first. A ruler. Why do we need a ruler? Because when we draw in a grid method, we use it to make the squares. And also when you take measurements of a person, for example, if the person was a little tilted to the left or right, you can use the ruler to put it in the picture that you're drawing from a phone or from a paper. It's normal to tilt your to tilt the ruler in order to see if it's straight or if it's not, so you can take the measurements correctly. Or for example, the most common mistakes I do is when I draw the eyes and the nose and the mouth, and I'm having problem, like this is the eyes, this is the end of my eye. Okay, so the end of my eye is touching for example the middle here, because I'm wearing a glass, so I cannot do it correctly. So for example, I make a mistake that I draw this here instead of this, so it makes a smaller nose. Or the lips, I make it wider, like I do this here, the lips. Okay, so the lips is a little far from the nose line here in the end. Okay, so rulers, of course, in a smaller size, if you're doing a smaller paper, is good at helping you with measurements. And yeah, this is it for all the equipment I find important. Last thing I forgot to mention is that when you finish a drawing, it's very hard to maintain a drawing if you do not spray it. If you do not spray it with something that makes it doesn't fade, the colors doesn't fade away. So there are special sprays for that, or you can just use a hair sprayer, okay, for it to not change with time. And yeah, these are all the equipments I see important. And so thank you for watching, and see you in next episode. Please don't forget to comment down below for what do you see, what else equipments do you see are important, and other stuff, questions, anything you want, comment down below. And thank you for watching. يلا يلا خليها هون هيك، ما هيك هيك. Hello everyone, welcome Musa. Hello everyone, welcome po sa lahat. No! No! No!
هجعلك
I'ma kill you!
supersonic speed.
Hello everyone, welcome po sa lahat. Welcome po sa iyong. Welcome po sa iyong. Hello everyone, welcome po sa.
Ooh, you know Mama see that?
Everyone, welcome po sa iyong lahat sa Honey Bunny. Hello everyone, welcome po sa iyong lahat sa panibaging.
شامل والله
Yes, I'm cheating. Hello everyone, welcome po sa inyong lahat sa panibaging episode ng Rasmati. Ako po ay magtuturo ng pag-drawing sa mga gustong matuto at mga baguhan para ma-improve at ma-develop ang ating kaalaman para sa ating